All right, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to try to finally get this TNG up on the wall. Finished that framing earlier. I do have voice chat now. Just ate lunch. I'm going to grab a drink real quick, and we're going to get started. This should go pretty easy. I do still need to set up the compressor, which I'm going to set up in the other room, and go ahead and drag out the hose. So we're going to grab the hose. Hose always causing problems.
Dwayne Country said, hey, glad you're back.
Yes, sir. I'm back with chat. This will be a lot easier to be able to talk back and forth now. Okay. Yeah, I had to do a little bit of setup, man. I wanted to get chat going because this morning was a little difficult to work and read comments. And then the compressor was giving me a problem, so I had to get that worked out. And I had to find a bunch of stuff which was going to not go very well on camera. Kind of needed to go a bunch of different places. I've got a couple storage areas on the property, and Wi-Fi is not prevalent everywhere, so it gets really hard to maintain the stream. And every time I do it with Bill in here, it ends up failing. Alright, I'm going to turn this compressor on. It's going to be loud for a second. Okay. Got the oil for the gun. Yes, sir. Preparing for tongue and groove. Yes, sir. Got our guns over here. I think I have my guns over here. Looks like I'm missing the one I need. Let's see. I got one here. Let's see. Oh yeah. As long as this will handle that one. Wow. Well, we got a little problem. My max fastener length is 2 inches on this gun, and I've got 2.5. I don't think there's anything I can do about this. Right when you think you have everything in alignment. Let's see. Okay, here's a bigger gun. Let's see. just have to find everything that I need. Max length, 2.5. Okay, we're good with this gun. Cha-cha. Throw some oil down in here. It's actually my buddy's gun that he's storing here. I bet he's never oiled it. So I'm gonna throw a little extra. And I've never used this gun. It doesn't seem to work. Sweet. Nice part about air guns, they're so simplistic. Pretty difficult to mess up. This thing's probably just got a little rust in the hammer. Knock that a little loose, might need to get some WD. See if my new moderator comes back from earlier or not. I love my buddy, but he always mistreats his poor tools. See if I can fix this for him. Looks like the hammer just won't retract. Okay, we got it back pretty good. Throw some lubricant in there. Fire it off one time. All right. This is gonna work. We need a little bit thinner lubricant in a rag. There's always some extra steps. Always something extra. I tell you. Okay, so let me show you what we got going here. So there's a slide right here.
Said, yeah, that's a given, LOL.
I know, right? There's a slide right here. We got some rust buildup. Very common. I'm sure you know, Dwayne, but I'm just saying it for the stream. Got a rust buildup here. Got to knock that rust loose, then the hammer can slide back and forth freely. Little WD-40 should do it. Dwayne, you ever use the Teflon or silicone WD-40? That shit works. Shit works really well.
Dwayne Guthrie said, I've used the silicone before.
My chat's like a little slower than Flip's. Like I've got the mentally challenged chat. Man, this thing is really, really bound. I actually wonder if the rust is in the air pneumatic cylinder. Let's just hope not. Kind of need a toothbrush in this or something. It's really bound up. Bring you guys a little closer.
You said, do you have a small wire brush similar to a toothbrush?
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna check that here in a second. I was hoping to not need to go that far. So I'm like hammering, or I'm retracting the hammer, spraying some lube in there, and then firing it, and it's getting stuck still at the end. This is a buddy's tool. It's possible that the spring mechanism for the hammer is messed up. But if it was just a spring, I would think this thing would slide back at least with just like normal pressure. And it won't. These tools were used in Colorado, so definitely could have had some snow and other problems. Let's see. Let me find a brush. A brush. Not as hot today. I'm not sure. I think just the other day it was like right after the rain. It was crazy hot. Oh, I know where a toothbrush is. Hang on. In my bathroom. Just kidding. There we go. And a little hammer. And a little stainless screw. All right. Try this again. Put some toothpaste in the form of WD. Basically what I use anyway. As a professional smartass, you really got to keep your jaw lubed up. Know if this is gonna work. Doesn't seem to want to. Really thought I had set myself up for some success here. Spent the last hour working on this stuff so that it would go smoother. And yeah. Oh, it might be better to look through and see if I've got another gun. This thing is neat. Alright, so that's 4 guns down. Found some nails. I might save me right there. Found some 2-inch nails. Found a small wire brush, that's cool. Alright, well, I'm going to opt for progress over frustration.
3 said if you are just arriving, he's preparing to do his tongue in groove.
I didn't hear you. Let me see what you said. Preparing to do his tongue and groove. Oh. I missed a chat. What happened? Alright, let's see if this other gun will work. I bet it will. It's already got some nails in it. I'm gonna give it some love. Spray some lube in there. All right, that felt good. See what we got here. All right, I'll call that success. Just took a minute. So I would say that the wall is probably not perfectly level. Suppose we'll check that. Typically, I would put an adhesive behind this as well. She's pretty good. I could do like a tiny, tiny gap at the top. Typically, I put an adhesive behind this too, but since we're going to be inside and not like on a porch or something, probably just let it roll. And then got a stop block still set outside. I'm not really sure how many nails I'm gonna need on this, but I might have enough, honestly. We're gonna be pretty close. I feel like I should start at the bottom. Pretty nice. I like it. Let's get a couple more pieces up and then see what it looks like. I'm going to use everything that I've got, which means there will be seams and stuff, but I'm going to at least be careful enough to make sure my seams land on something. This wood was all recycled from another project. Most of it is stained. I very well might have enough that's already stained to not have to do any additional staining work. That would certainly be my preference. So these are also the less desirable boards from that project. It's just kind of how it rolled. My saw slides just bound up on me. Hit those with some WD real quick. Okay. I learned a long time ago, if you lubricate the slides, you gotta clean them. If you're cutting unstained wood that you plan to stain. Okay. That went right in. Well, that top measurement's looking really good. We'll have to start paying attention to, like, level is all good, but I want to make sure that I'm running even the outer edge there. So when I do a rip cut, my rip will be the right length. Okay. This part will go fast, super fast. But I have a lot of adjustment. Have a lot of adjustment available in the T&G. Looks like there's a little bit of other wood mixed in with the T&G, some pine flooring. Did not realize that was pine. That's a bit of a pain. Do a 15-degree bevel cut here, and then I don't need to worry about this line falling on any framing because I have a line of wood going all the way up. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this piece in. I've already got my bevel on there. Okay, and then this is messed up here. Square is a little off. Fix that. Still just a little off. I'm gonna be a perfectionist and cut some more. All right, that's looking good. Now, mark the top. Measure once, cut twice. Oof. Ugly nail. Man. All right, it's a good use of 2 scraps. So here I have some unstained wood. Probably if I use, I'm going to try to stain it off the wall. I do still have that stain. Ooh, this bad boy is warped, warped. Yeah, so earlier, Dwayne, whenever I was getting ready to plug in the compressor, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'm using this. Yeah, that was my internet. So I was definitely using that.
Wing gun Gray said honestly sounds like something I would do LOL.
Yeah, that's an easy mistake. So I decided it's probably time to grab a bite, use the bathroom. And believe it or not, I tried to prep this job a little better, but you know, best laid plans. I need a clamp. I need a real clamp though. I need like a big clamp. Let's see. Okay, so our gap is a little off there. This wood is from Lowe's. No, actually, this wood is from Home Depot. And they really sell some trash. When I bought this, I didn't realize what I was buying. And I should have known, I don't know why I did this, but I bought it all online for delivery. And when you do that, you really have to trust that their technician is going to care about your project and pick wood that's like, you know, not knotted up to pieces. Which they don't do. Alright, so this board will hopefully be my clamp. Be my clamp, baby! beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Ding ding. Yeah, I like the TTS. It's a lot easier to not worry about looking at the screen so much. Good thing I'm not driving, man. That would be so dangerous. Looking at the screen all the time. Just kidding. Like we don't hear that enough. Let's see.
Waiting Gun 3 said, I know a couple of drivers that do that, trust me.
So horrible. They should be ashamed of themselves. Shame! Wonder where our fabulous driver is at. I bet he's soaking it up by the pool. Not worried about us commoners. Trading his stocks. My tongue is messed up right here on this one. And normally to fix it, I would just put my hammer in here, but I'm worried I'm gonna pop.
Godfrey said, yeah, he's putting them flip-flops in the sand and sitting on the beach under a big umbrella.
Yeah, I know. He could join my stream. That would be nice of him. Told me he doesn't have time for me. Us commoners. Believe he said that? He was like, nah, man. I gotta work on my tan. Oh! I gotta work on my tan today, John. I don't have time. That's exactly what he said. I couldn't believe it. I'm just kidding. Flip didn't say that to me. I don't know what he's doing though.
Dwayne Country said, did he really?
Nah, he didn't. Bro, my pencil, is that a lead? It's always something. It's always... So I got this broken tongue right here. I'm hoping this piece will go in. I shoved a little wedge in there to try to get it back out to normality. I think we can get it. I think we can. But we're gonna have to do some funny stuff. Foyfict. I used to work for this guy named Dave Foy. And he had a really particular eye for certain things. But then I felt like not a very particular eye on other things. And his biggest thing was panel makeup. So you'd open up a panel that Dave did, and that thing would look like somebody took a bowl of spaghetti, tossed it in the panel, and said, "Hey, that looks good." And that was not my style at all. I hated that. Even though it was his company, still drove me fucking nuts. And so I came up with this term called foifict. When it's good enough for Dave Foy. Now he probably wouldn't be too happy with me spreading that. But I don't work for him anymore, so whatever. Foifict it is. And to be fair, foifict worked for a lot of people. What do you guys think? You like it so far? I think it looks pretty good. It's going to add some warmth to this otherwise cold area. We got gray, blue, black, more gray. No warm colors. I'll grab a drink. Be right back.
The way Gun 3 said it's all coming together.
I've been tearing up these poppy sodas lately. These are really good. There's only 5 grams of sugar. The first couple days, though, I will say they have some probiotics in them, so it's like eating a bunch of yogurt. Whew. I definitely noticed, but they're good now. Nice and cold. All right, I think I'm going to take my first measurement. See if I need to start spreading the joint a little bit. So we're sitting at 49 and 5/8 dead on. And we're 49 and 3/8. All right, so we got a 1/4 inch of difference. So we need to start spreading the gap a little bit at the top. Not a big deal. So start staying tight at the bottom. And slight gapping at the top. See if I can put a 1/4 inch in like 5 pieces and you won't really notice it. I'm hoping I have some more lead for my pencil over here. Let's see, I just found some pencils. Where did I find those pencils? We got lots of pencils and no pencil sharpener. Telling you, man, always a problem. See if I can find a razor blade. I don't know if you heard that, chat, but I just used a belt sander to sharpen a pencil. Gotta do what you gotta do, but look at that finish. Holy moly. She's ready. Let's get this done. You gotta leave a little extra on that mark. It's like we're riding upwards a little bit on my top mesh.
Waiting gun 3 said definitely came to the point, LOL.
Yes, sir. That's not one you want to keep in your pocket. All right, tight at the bottom, small gap at the top, right? Tight at the bottom. Small gapping. Probably should check the top measurement. It's not great, but it's not bad. Still good on nails, but I think I should throw some more in. Chat, we got it on nails. I'm pretty happy about that. Amazed that worked out. But I guess you gotta win every now and then after you're having such a rough start. Oh man, I got a lot of blonde wood. Might not have enough stain. These are all stained though. This gives me 2 feet right here.
said maybe do a couple pieces of blonde right in the middle.
Yeah, I can always stain them after the fact. I'm not gonna leave them blonde. I still have the finish. I actually have a couple gallons of the finish. So it'll look normal later. But let's see, I can find middle. Leave them blonde in the middle, like you're saying. We're probably really close right now. We got 75. Yeah, that was the middle piece right there. Middle is like right at this lip, which is actually really nice because I'm not going to have to trim off much. It's going to look like almost a full piece towards the end. Let's see. All right, so with that statement, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. I got 3 right there. Here's 4. We can make 5 out of those pretty easily. Here's 5 on full pieces. Number 6 on full pieces. Double check. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 6 already. Here's 2, so that's 7 and 8. Looking good. That's everything stained right there, though. Yeah, so I got 8 pieces stained, I need 7. So I guess let's not make any mistakes. All right. Tight at the bottom. Can't believe I lost my eye on YouTube. Ah! All right, I'm gonna do this seam tight all the way. And then remeasure.
Wayne Godfrey said I was just going to suggest that.
Yes, sir. We got progress happening now. That's how these jobs always go, man. Struggle to start. But then once you get started, they roll through. Pretty simple stuff. One day you guys will be watching me roast coffee again in here. You'll remember seeing the walls get built, insulation getting done. We'll be like a big family. Let's take some measurements. See if we got closer to square up with this edge. 29 1/4. 29 1/8. You overshot, boys. We overshot it. Should have measured on the last one. Time and temperature check. It is 2 p.m. 92 degrees. Yep, 92. Inside. Next week's going to be 99. So, next week we're at the beach. We're doing flip stuff next week. We're doing flip activities next week. So I got a metal detector. We can do some metal detecting on the Carolina coast. That'll be pretty fun. I got some pretty cool sport kites, which are like, 2 of them are competition type kites. They're dual string. You can really make them do some flips and stuff. They're pretty high speed. I was messing with them the other day. We're going to go to Duck, North Carolina. It's kind of on the Outer Banks, and they allow dogs on the beach year-round, which is pretty cool. Since we just got that fresh puppy addition to the family. Uh-oh. I might be running out of air. Hang on, let's see. No, I think I just hit some knots or something. Kind of weird. Better. You guys the new camera angle. I know YouTube likes when you change it up a little bit. Okay, so we gotta move that outlet up a little bit.
Country said that's a good angle.
$19. Hey, looking good. All right. Wonder where Mr. Billiam is today. Uh-oh. Getting fire. Why aren't we getting nails? We have to do our middle of the job nail gun repair. Can't forget about that. Dude, what the heck? You just shot. Ain't no freaking way. Sir, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and shoot a nail for me. Thank you. Dude, something's wrong. It's working so well. We're doing so good, Jack. Gotta have nail gun issues or something.
Like I said, never fails right in the middle of the job. Something besides did not work.
Yep. I think I got it. It just needed more WD. Just keep throwing half a can of WD at it, it'll be alright. Gonna have a special cut to deal with here soon. A super special cut. Super ultra special. Kind of messed up the cartoons we were exposed to as a kid that make you do these things that you think are funny, but are kind of like not PC nowadays. Like the super special. Like people probably think I'm imitating a retard because that's kind of what it sounds like, and really probably what it is. But in my mind, I'm imitating Daffy or Donald Duck, who just talked with a list and like said kind of stupid stuff. They programmed us to be non-PC. That board has some cupping going on, but it'll be alright. It will be okay. Yeah, so part of the problem with these boards is the tongues weren't milled quite perfectly. Some of the tongues are really fat. This is one of those boards. Pretty sure it's gonna be all right, but I should pay attention to that because the solution is to cut the back half of the groove out with a table saw. I guess I could crack it off since it's pine, if we got down to it. So the total cost in this project is going to be really low. Probably one of the lowest cost projects I've ever done. Since I already have the material, I'm essentially calling that no cost. Stuff that very likely could have sat on the back patio until the day it rotted. So I'm very happy to be using it. Alrighty, so now we have an outlet to cut in. If I was a true perfectionist, I would move the outlet so it was dead center of the TNG. But I don't think I'm gonna be. Because that seems a little bit crazy to me. All right. I am spacing this stuff off the floor just like an 1/8 inch. So I've got these little shims that I'm moving down with every board. trying to mark this outlet. So what I like to do is actually hold it up for the markings. Tends to be a lot more accurate. Okay, so that's what we're looking at cutting out. You need that big drill bit we had earlier, right here. I'll use that. Looking for a battery, chat. Everything's dead. That sounds dead. It says it's full. Sounds dead, and it says it's dead. I don't know. Let me just try this. Running out of energy. So when I drill this kind of stuff, I like to run a small drill bit, like 1/4 inch or so, into each corner. The plaster ring for the boxes always have a rounded corner, so it kind of helps. Starting, so this is going to be the hardest area. I do like to cut from the back. Titled the video, How to Do a Lot with Basically No Tools. How to do the most with the wrong tool. How to work hard and not smart. All right. Looks good. Looks real good. So now, honestly, now we got another little issue that's easily solvable. So I used to have this, when you do a square box like this, bring you guys in real close. All right, so when you do a square box like this adapter, these square boxes are able to be adapted to a lot of uses. They can be just straight junction boxes. You can do round heads if you're doing hanging lights like pendants. This is a plaster ring. And depending on what size, depth, or type of plaster ring you get is the use. So you can get like double outlet plaster rings, which would have a much bigger opening and give you 2 duplexes. But the whole point of this is I need a deeper plaster ring to make that work. I believe I have on hand here somewhere some very deep plaster rings at like 1.25 inches. But my other option is, deep plaster rings kind of suck. And my other option would be to move the box further forward. Or I can also use what's called a fire ring and longer screws, which I think is going to have to be the option this time. I'm not immediately seeing my fire rings. And at this point in the day, I'm ready to get that last piece on there, you know?
NCJ0 and set Icker.
Icker. Icker. Icker. All right, let's see. Just so no one takes that statement out of context, Icker is I-K-R, I know, right? Be putting words in my mouth. All right, so this is a little bit of a pain. I really kind of want to just move the box forward. Would make the most sense. Anytime you do extra stuff when there's an easier way.
You said wouldn't it be easier just moving the box?
Yeah. Well, kind of. Yes and no. All right, let's go for a little walk. I want to keep leaving you guys behind. Let's go for a little walk. All right, so I'm having trouble finding Phillips tips for my drill, which number one, I need to move the box. Not a huge deal. I should be able to find them over here somewhere, maybe even right now. Could work. I'll have to clean that, but that would work. My plaster rings are... I basically am, except for I only have a little bit of everything. And it's like if you went to the electrical aisle in Home Depot and nobody's worked there for a month, and so stuff is just all in the middle of the aisle. Just like, good luck. We probably have it. Ooh, that might be what we need right there. Okay, just got excited. Look at that. Now we're talking. Let's go for another walk. Let's go for a walk on the walk. What are we drinking? I think this is gonna be good right now. Like a lemonade. Now that last drink was really low sugar. This one is not. 29 grams. Not great, not horrible, or 26 grams, 26. Not great, not horrible. It is a smaller can. It's only 11 ounces. Cheers. All right. So this will get me, oh yeah, that's what we need right there.
Countries that get bottoms up.
So this right here is definitely the easiest option. Bring you guys in for a view. Lower this down. A little unstable, but we'll make that work. All right. So this one outlet is hot right now. I gotta be a little bit careful. But I've got it taped up. Should be fine. The biggest issue when you move these is the edges here are really, really sharp. And the box itself is grounded. So if you nick the side of your wire at all, you're typically going to see an explosion. I don't like this. It's not a great scenario. There we go. very easy to produce booms this way. I should really just go turn this off, but all right, so this doesn't get me through the material, which from a inspection standpoint still doesn't get me legal. But now, I think through a combination of that plastering and moving the box, we're gonna be in good shape. Gracious. All right, I gotta get some new self-tappers. Gotta get some heavy-duty self-taps on that one. And my new problem at hand is accessing this screw. I think I can do it though. Difficult. Oh, come on. Yeah, new challenge. New challenge unlocked. Can't access our screw here. We got it. We got it, boys. No worries. So now, how to make sure you're at the right height. We need this face to be even with this face. It could be slightly further back, but we definitely do not want it to be proud. Best thing to do is to start at the bottom. Put a level or similar surface there.
Said the top one's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I really needed an extension for my bit. I looked for one briefly. I've got two of them in here. Yeah, that top one's gonna be impossible, actually. See if I can find an extension. One moment. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Right at my feet. Not really the right type of bit extension. It really really the bit I'm using is a little bit wrong, but
Dwayne Gundry said that was too easy.
that was too easy. I needed a break after all the other challenges of the day. Oh, that's perfect. And that is perfect. Okay. Beautiful. Now, leave that outlet at an angle. New challenge unlocked. Tell I've never done this before. All right. All right, so now this is a square cut, but it has to go in at an angle, and this protrusion on the plaster ring is blocking me from getting it in. So the only finished phase, or the only part that you see on the finish is this. So I'm gonna cut an angle here. And ideally I'd be cutting it from the back. I think I can do. I'm careful. This is when your electrician skills meet your carpenter skills. So let's see, your electrician patience meet your carpenter skills. Bro, I don't know. I don't even know what to say there. That worked out. That for sure worked out. Finally stuff going my way. No. Oh, I thought that was my drink. WD-40 fell over. It's like the nail gun needs a little impact after every shot. Yo. Weak. All right, so usually your electrical inspector would prefer that you do not. And would really, when I say prefer, would be very upset slash would almost definitely decline your inspection if you were to do electrical work in the wall like that and then close it up. The only reason I'm going to do this and get away with it is because I'm going to leave this side open. That works for me and it works for him because I don't have the wood stained yet. I've got to do at least 2 more boards. So I'll cut those, I'll stain them, I'll get them ready, and I'll probably put the corner piece in so the inspector will still have a good view in this little gap, that everything's strapped like it's supposed to be and brought into the box with appropriate connectors. Hopefully, he looks around and he sees that I did professional work here. He doesn't think a whole lot about that. That's certainly never a guarantee. Sometimes they get insulted if they've never worked with you before, that you would even think that you were able to do that or allowed to do that. So we just have to see how it goes. I'm hoping to get my electrical inspection next week. Probably honestly stream the whole thing. There's not really a reason not to. Well, probably will leave this piece. I'm going to shoot 1 nail in it just to hold it in place. But that was perfect. I think I'm going to need to get a table saw out some. It's about time I own a table saw anyway. So there it is. A nice little T&G accent wall. Gets rid of a good amount of wood. Pretty happy with that. Guess I can clean up some of this stuff. Definitely reduces my wood pile I've got out here, but I've still got some of this stuff. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13 pieces. And I'm gonna need 2 to finish this out. Yep, 2 to finish that out. 13 outside. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 more pieces. And I could almost do that wall as well, but I would have to go all the way across here. I don't think that'll look that good. I think that'll be too much. This is a very industrial environment. I just wanted to add some warmth to it. I think it's not pretty good. I need a table or something in front of it. Let's see.
Wayne Guthrie said, no, it looks good.
Thanks, Wayne. Thanks, Dwayne. I called you Wayne. My friend's brother's name. He's in jail right now, unfortunately. I did that because chatbot messes up your name and I can't really hear the D, so then when it puts it in my mind, Wayne. My bad.
Bill Meyer said, yeah, Garland was working in the book get into YouTube.
Hey, it's Bill. What's up, bro?
Wayne Guthrie said, hey, Bill.
See if I can move this camera a little bit. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna clean up in here a little bit. We got trash everywhere and I'm tired of tripping on stuff.
Wayne Guthrie said, I like the duck bill.
Drill bits and screwdrivers and hammers and toothbrushes and
Bill Meyer said, I really just like technology.
yeah. Technology and women. Can't live with them, can't live without them, you know what I'm saying? Good old dad jokes.
Bill Meyer said, you may not use to raise those ducks.
Wayne Guthrie said, what type of duck bill?
Man, I saw some ducks at Agri Supply, and I had Claire with me. She wanted to get some ducks so bad, but we were doing the garden and all kinds of stuff this year. I just couldn't make it happen. But maybe next year we're gonna do ducks or something. We also have a lot of wildlife out here. We get geese and stuff, so it's hard to justify spending money on some animals that kind of just show up naturally. But let's see. Mandarin? What's a mandarin duck? Let me look this up. Oh, those are
Bill
cool.
Meyer said, in the backyard here the trees are full of trees.
Dude, those are really cool ducks. Ooh. Yeah, I bet we can't have those here. Like, I bet they don't really like our environment necessarily.
Bill Meyer said, look at my icon. Romantic face emoji.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Nice. They're pretty. So do those ducks just stay around your place all year round, or do they migrate somewhere?
Bill Meyer said, yes, you can have them there with a permit.
Outside that shore looks like that.
Well, I guess I owe my boy John a beer for using his nail guns. Because I don't think I would have got it done without him.
Bill Meyer said that the trip is to keep you around.
Wow. Shot all those nails, did all that, and then cut myself bad on the putting the damn wood away.
Wayne Gun 3 said that's understandable.
Yeah, we have obviously a really good environment for ducks and stuff. Grab some water for my pinky. She's a throbbing.
Wayne Gun 3 said, just been on the back some teeth on it, you'll be alright, Lord.
Yes, sir. Use, like a tissue and some electrical tape. That's basically a Band-Aid. Poke a hole in a water bottle and spray out the wound. That's if you really want to be a professional. Then tap it on your dirty pants. Spray it again.
Bill Meyer said, keep it in the box. Package emoji. Less than 7 come with straight
Yeah, I think this fall, like late summer into fall or early winter, we're gonna get into building like some chicken coop, and I might try to find some peacocks or swans. Swans might be really cool out here. Some kind of exotic bird.
Bill Meyer said I used the text and really tapped out low.
Damn, you must have some bad cuts, bro. He said he uses the heavy flow bandage.
Wayne Gun 3 said that's even better on the L. Bill Meyer said peacocks are noisy.
I kind of want that though. I don't mind that. Swans are really expensive. You have to buy them in a pair. They're like $5K, which has been the number one thing blocking me from that. I think peacocks are not as expensive as you would think. Don't quote me on, or quote me on that if you want to. Send me a quote. Send me a quote for some peacocks. Look, an electrician cleaning up. Take a screenshot.
Bill Nye said guineas are good for getting snakes and ticks.
Yeah, I wanted some guineas actually last year, but we had this house rented out, and the guy was like, no fucking way you're putting guineas at my house. And I was like, well, bud, it's actually my house. And we got into a pretty big argument about it. And long story short, he no longer lives here, so that's how that ended up. But I did understand his side of things. He didn't necessarily want noisy chickens. But I don't think guineas are all that noisy. Roosters, definitely some roosters are noisy as hell. Yeah, I kind of want some like.
This tastes better than chicken emoji. Plain country said bill for the next 3 maybe 4 days is going to be the 90s here.
Same. We got a massive heat wave coming right when we're going to the beach. Should be all right. Woo! Glad it's not that hot here, although it's pretty warm in the building. The humidity here has dropped off. I will give it that. Thank God. But it'll be back, because it always is. Bill, aren't you in Iowa? I didn't think it got that humid there. I thought you guys were more shielded. I thought it was like nice and dry there. Oh, yes. Forgive me if I got that wrong. I can't remember it exactly. I could definitely look back where I shipped the coffee. Okay. Looking pretty decent there.
Lord knows there's plenty of beach there a mile long.
When we went to Oklahoma to buy the roaster, the blue one here, I really enjoyed that trip. To be like just going somewhere that didn't really have a whole lot going on.
Bill Meyer said corn in some fields is about 20 inches tall. The corn holds a lot of dew.
Oh, yeah. Well, and corn grows really fast, as I've learned. So that stuff, it probably produces quite a bit of moisture. Okay, I'm very happy with that. That came out super nice for about $40 in studs.
Wayne Gundry said, John, I think that turned out real well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was nice having it already stained too. I really hate the look of the silver insulation. It's not bad, but it makes the whole space feel more industrial and less, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't really want it to look like a house. I mean, it is an industrial production space. I just want it to feel a little warmer. I think that helps a lot. I got a TV mounted the other day in here. So that's coming out pretty nice. We got the computer.
Wayne Gundry said, I remember my grandfather taking me to a cornfield and told me to sit and listen and you could hear it.
Sounds like your grandpa was tired of you talking. He's like, just sit there and listen. Listen to the corn talk to you. He's like, you're too hyper. I'm gonna do that with Claire. Like, listen to the corn talk to you. Listen to what it's saying.
Wayne Gundry said, sounds like you knew my grandfather pretty well, LOL. Bill Meyer said you don't have time for TV. Lol.
No, we don't have time for TV, but we have to watch the roast. And so I got the computer on the TV for the roaster. At the other spot, I use my laptop. And since I'm going to try to do more YouTube streaming when I move over to here, I want it to be available for you guys to see kind of what's going on both roasters at the same time. So I think it'll take a little bit more sizable screen. It actually should be.
Bill Meyer said, well, that makes more sense to me.
If it wasn't 92 degrees in here, I would run the roaster, honestly. Maybe one evening I'll do like a first roast video. I still have to get my inspection on the gas lines, even though I've got them running. I have to purge the gas back out and put 30 psi in the lines just for the inspector to come through and check it out. Maybe we could do that. So I got to take this off and put that on. And we got to make sure that this is closed. That one's closed. I think I have to add a valve out here so I don't back pressure the regulator. Yeah. So that's the one thing that stopped me from doing this. I have a valve there, but I really need a valve here, or I need to spin this regulator off and put the pressure test nipple right here. Honestly, what to do. I don't think I have a 3/4 gas valve. I'm really close, that's for sure. So for inspection, I gotta get these two lines cut in to that panel. I need a couple outlets down there finished up, which are easy. I need the generator feed going into here and popped through the outside wall, which is this box. We need this put up for the HVAC unit. Thank you. Look at my amazing woman. She brought me food somewhere, right there. Awesome. A little fruit snack, some chips. She's so great. So the generator bill, all right, so this has to go here for the HVAC. Generator is actually, doesn't have to be that big. So I'll explain what I got going on here. So this panel right here has two transfer switches. And if you're ever doing a generator at a house that's a new install, I highly recommend this setup. This is a Siemens panel, but it's got a Generac product in it. And this is a transfer switch, and it's an auto. So if you're doing a new install at a house, you can put this in as your main panel and you'll never have to put a transfer switch in. Even if you never do a generator, you can just leave this as a main panel, no problems. But the bottom section here, this is all generated. The top section here is non-generated. So in the event of a failure, this little motor spins and essentially it would go this way and it would transfer, and then when power is restored, it goes that way. Then on the bottom here, all of these red lines are double generated. So what that means, over here, which is the generator I was just talking about, the little box somewhere right there, that's going to feed this one. And from the outside or inside, wherever I put that feed box, I'll be able to use this battery pack that I'm currently running everything off of. My saws, my lights, everything runs off this Goal Zero battery pack. That'll do 4,000 watts for an hour, or 1,000 watts for 4 hours, or whatever. You can do the math on that. 4,000 watt hours, essentially. So that'll go into manual And the purpose of that is any of these loads, which is not much, but the lights in here, the coffee roasters and the computers for the coffee roasters, this can all be put on the battery pack and ran off of solar. So this is a manual transfer switch, whereas this one's auto. So all I have to do is come over here. This would be running those circuits off this panel, and Jen would be running them off solar, essentially. So I've got a solar source and a street source, and the ability to switch in between them all legally. Then this panel, this will house all of my heavy use equipment. So compressors, I've got our server rack right here. That'll go on there. The internet equipment actually will be on the generator and solar backup, but it's a relatively complicated and over-engineered electrical setup. So then both of those panels come out here, go into the side of the 400 amp meter base. Holy crap, I just cut the crap out of myself. Woo! So you can see street source comes in there and then double fed. Wowzers. That hurt. There is a lot going on there. All right, hang on. I gotta doctor that cut just a second. Wow, that's a deep one. That sucks that just happened. Yep. Filleted that finger open. I'm sure YouTube won't like me showing that cut, but well, that changes my attitude a little bit. I have to sit down and eat, collect myself now. That hurts. Wowzer owzers.
Bill Meyer said figured out how big a generator need for stopping your house so you won't be without any light. Then that's just a bit bigger for everything else. Because you know you will be adding one again.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I didn't actually answer your question. I just rambled on about the complicated electrical setup. So in here to run everything, like if I wanted to run the AC and the computers and the internet and everything, I doubt I would need any bigger than like probably a 18 or a 15 kW would be more than enough. I probably only need like 6 to 8 kW. But if I put a 6 or an 8, it's going to be running that generator winding at full capacity. And I like to oversize the generator winding a little bit because when you look at the price difference between a 6 kW generator versus like a 22 kW generator, there's probably like $2,000 in difference. And you're already looking at spending $5K.
I was thinking like 30K.
Oh, nah. I mean, if I wanted to run all the welders and everything and be able to run anything and everything with no power, probably.
Dwayne Guthrie said, wanted to say how much.
I think I could do it on anywhere from a 12 to an 18. And I might have said like 12 to 22, but I'm sort of just doing these numbers in my head. I doubt I would need more than 6 to 8 on a regular daily basis. So anything over like 8 would be a win. So if I found like a really good deal on a 12 kW, but a 22 kW ran on propane is only 100 amps. I think it's like 95 amps or 90 amps or something like that. It's just like in an emergency event to get by, I don't necessarily need all the power. And even though I've got really good distribution over there, I'll never be running a welder while I'm running the coffee roasters. Unless I had a friend here working alongside me. But I might be running the air compressor along with the coffee roaster because we got to use air in here to kind of clean things up. I don't want to turn the TV on.
Dwayne Guthrie said, are you planning on using a standalone air compressor and pipe all the air throughout?
Ah, Dwayne, I'm so glad you asked. I love my air compressor. All right, so for the air compressor, I got a filter dryer here, and then this little nipple will go there, and it'll run down to here where there'll be a valve and another nipple. All right. The same setup will exist off of that pipe for the other roaster. And then we got a T, and that T goes up to a valve in the wall in case I need to turn everything off for service. And then we convert over to PEX A, which if you don't know what PEX A is, it's rated for up to 500 PSI. And it's really just water line. So I run up and along the edge there. And then we're coming down, and I ran the PEX into a piece of pipe that I painted blue. I know, that's the boring part. Ugh. got me good. So then we came out here, and the PEX is just sleeved through that pipe. We're coming to there, which is my main distribution block. So I have an air hookup out here, a purge valve, which is open right now, a 1/2-inch feed going into the roasting area. This feeds the distribution block, which comes down. And the purpose of this is to help moisture condensate into this tube and drop back in. And then I've got a moisture purge down here on the bottom, which will kick on every hour for about 30 seconds and shoot any moisture out. But yeah, we've got a very nice full-on big boy compressor. Have a little bit of electric work to do up here. With my finger injured now, I definitely won't be doing that today. I actually bought this compressor back when I was doing like jet ski projects. So I was working on a lot of fiberglass and stuff like that. So I was blowing gel coats and using chip guns, fiberglass chip guns and stuff like that, which you need a lot of steady compressed air volume for. I think that thing does like 14 liters a minute or something. Let's see. 14 cubic feet a minute, which is a little better. It's like 4 times the amount. 14 CFM at 60. Is that what that said? 14, that's pretty good. 14.3 at 90. So the drop-off rate from 40 to 90 is almost none. 14 CFM essentially at any pressure.
Wayne Gun 3 said, well, that answered my question, didn't it? Thanks, LOL.
It did. You know I like giving you over informing you and giving you way too much. I'll probably put a T in that pipe and come over and get some kind of hookup over here. I'm gonna need some air for, you know, automotive stuff. I got a lot of projects still to do in here. So we got a lift that'll go right over there in that back corner. And I have the lift on hand, just need to get it installed. I want to get my electrical final and stuff first. So I really don't want the inspector looking at my lift. It's 15 years old. I don't want him finding problems. It's what they always try to do, just find some problems. So we'll get our electrical first, then we'll put the lift in. But that project's like full ready to go. I even have the sleeve anchors for it. Big boy sleeve anchors. These massive things. These are rated at like a couple 1,000 pounds a piece. These things were like 10 bucks each. Stupid. Actually stupid pricing. It actually go this way. But yeah, the lift will give me some more space, and then we got to install a floor system up there, which will give me 6 feet at the corner and I don't know, 7.5 or 8 feet here with the cross members. So we'll put lightweight storage up there. Just camping materials, excess boxes and cups and things like that for the business. That'll all have to go up there. Should help clear up a lot of this just clutter everywhere. So I want to be able to park that car in here. I want to be able to park that car in here. And I want to get rid of that car. So Everybody, welcome in. I appreciate you joining. Dwayne, I appreciate you staying here the whole time. It's been very nice having someone to chat with. My corn. I need to get rid of this. If I pull a permit, I can treat the whole lake and get rid of this algae. It's really gross. When I grew up out here, this was never here. And it's not everywhere. There's just like pockets of it. And I've gone in there and gotten it with a rake several times before. It works for a couple of years and then it comes back. Yeah. Hey, that's all right. Sometimes I'm streaming and I'm like, man, I need to say something. Just cleaning my finger. It's looking rough. I need to go put a Band-Aid on it probably. We can all be that way, right? It's okay. Happens. I need a tissue for my finger. Don't look in there. Okay. Much better. If I have some alcohol down here. Acetone. Yeah. I honestly, man, I removed his mod status as soon as I finished that stream because I figured he would never be back. I had never seen him before. Bro, someone would fucking catch my koi is the problem. I've thought about getting some kind of decorative fish. So actually there's two problems. There's lots of fishers that come out here and I can't stop them all. So that's somebody else's house. And there's another one there. There's one there. There's one there. And there's one further back over there. Then there's this guy. This guy and I get along great. No issues whatsoever with him. We're on the same page, it seems like, with basically everything. And I don't know how much of that is real and how much of that is just him getting along with me and like saying okay if he's like that passive. But it seems like we have nothing that we really disagree on, whereas all these other people, this guy's pretty cool. We kind of see eye to eye on most stuff, but then everybody else is like pretty hard for me to get along with. And they allow people to come out here and fish. They allow people to come out here and ride four-wheelers up and down the road, to the point where one of them told me tough shit and I could basically get effed and all this stuff, and I had him arrested and trespassed from the property. And it's like, these people are guests, and the people they invite out as guests are extremely disrespectful. I don't understand. It's like, you know you're a guest, but you come out here as if you own the place. It's tough for me. I've been out here really longer than any of these people, which doesn't mean anything. I'm not trying to say that that should mean something, but I don't know. A little bit of mutual respect would be nice. And so getting people to stop fishing and like, that would be really difficult. Probably someone would throw back a koi. But then my other issue is, see if I can zoom in on it. It's real hard to see. But right there in center of the frame there's a standpipe. And there's a pass, like a water pass underneath the water that allows just standard flow to go. I don't know how well, what I could do to keep the koi in here and not go through the standpipe. Because fish definitely go right through it. Drinking too much stuff. I wouldn't necessarily mind so here's the issue with fishers. They get a line stuck and they just cut it off. And they're like, oh, I don't need to deal with that. And they don't go after it or do anything to keep the place clean. And so when I go in there with my rake and I clean up all that grass stuff, you would be amazed how many fish hooks I end up getting. We're keeping it a little healthy now, Bill. Okay? Actually, you know what? We're gonna go even lower sugar than that. We're not doing this. We're going lower. Got to keep our friends happy. Okay? I'm sure Bill would prefer I'm drinking water. But 5 grams of sugars, Bill. 5. That's not bad, right? It's not 0. Yeah, that was a tiny can too. It was 23, right? Wasn't it 23? $26. Shit. Plus I had another 5 earlier. Are you saying I should have water before I crack this? I also had a water earlier. I'm gonna crack it before anybody can respond. Yep, just 5 grams of sugar. Okay, what are we doing now, boys? I feel lost. Feel lost. I need another project. I need a small project. I did not know you were over 70. That's very impressive, honestly. Very. I'm not quite 40 yet, and another 40 years definitely seems daunting. But I guess I gotta give it at least 20 for my girl. I guess I could put a plate on that outlet, make that look better.
Plain Country said, John, trust me, he really keeps me going every day, thanks Bill.
You guys live near each other? You just met online. Woo! Almost ate shit over here.
Bill Meyer said you are welcome play.
Burp. Well, we got full battery. I guess we could do, let's do this. Let's go for a walk. Quality. 2 different states. We should maintain connection. Let's go for a little walk. Got to bring my organic fruity twist. It's part of my lunch. Show you guys some of the property. We'll do it a little faster. All right, so my corn's probably really close to 4 feet, but I got a lot of like I don't understand what happened to these two. I understand that it fell over, but I had a bunch that fell over and then they like stood back up, or I stood them up and they were fine. But I've got like these random corns that just didn't do anything. Most of the other stuff like took off, and these didn't do anything. But for the most part, it's looking good. I think honestly, ooh, that's not good. Japanese beetle. I'm gonna need to treat. I think honestly, we're gonna have decent production, but next year I need to till the soil a little better and try to be more on top of the weeds a little better. Birds are fighting. Birds are fighting. We had good rain last night. We're reaching the end for these squash and zucchini. It's getting too hot for them. That zucchini is dead. Cut that out. Okay, those zucchinis will be ready tonight. Tomorrow probably. And then we got a lot of watermelons. We're really gonna have a lot of watermelons too. They're starting all over the place. I gotta just keep the turtles out of here. So I think what I'm gonna do is take milk crates and set the melons inside milk crates that I want to keep, and then cut off the ones that, you know, you're only going to get so many melons anyway. But cut off the blooms of the ones that I'm unlikely to get any real production. Oh, boring beetles, maybe. Yeah, that's possible. I also noticed I had like some moles this year. This is my first year really farming, like doing any kind of real production. I might have 1 or 2 tomato plants, I might have 1 or 2 peppers, something like that, but this is my first time ever doing 550 corn plants, and like I don't have any real number of zucchini or squash yet, but next year hopefully have a better production. We've got some rock birds out here. You can look those up. They're pretty cool. We had a pair lay some eggs, and Aaron and I like nurtured the eggs a little bit. Obviously Mama and Daddy Bird nurtured the eggs, but we made sure they had some help. Holy clap. It's a good angle here. So we go through a little woods run. Pop down here. This is where Bill and I were stalking a turkey. And this is a sewer line that just came in the last couple of years. Some developers put it in, and ever since then, the four-wheelers have been crazy. Bill, I read that really differently. I read that you ate squirrel last year, and I was like, okay, what did that taste like? We have squirrel out here. We feed the birds and we feed the squirrels, which seems to help out a lot in the garden. They're not so desperate for food that they're eating our stuff. Although, I bet you when I get into strawberries and raspberries, they're gonna eat my shit. Somewhere up here there's a little cutover to the right. We're gonna hop on that. I think I'm coming up on it. Bill, you and I were further in. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Trail here. This is not my property, but it is not marked no trespassing. And there are trails that exist. So I don't worry about it for now. There's actually another side to this trail. Maybe we should do that other side. I've got lots of battery. I've been on charge of this whole morning, so. Thanks to my beautiful wife / fiance, I have lots of energy from that meal she made. There's an old cabin up here, which is kind of cool. Woo! The other half of this trail's kind of crazy. It will definitely be a challenge. Woohoo! I got a lot of experience on this, and then My favorite thing to do is snowboarding, so this is in pretty good alignment. Wait till you see what I'm about to go through. It's a lot more intense. Just like some rock formations and whoa. Just these roots, honestly, create quite a challenge. Now up here there is somebody with a gun range, so I never go this way whenever I hear shooting going on, because it's really close to this path and I'm pretty confident that some bullets are making it past his targets. I have generally had to walk a good portion of this. Holy crap. I don't have a charged battery, so I do need to be a little mindful of that, but let's see what we can do. Oh shit. Okay, this is the part that I usually have to walk. This rock's super slick. I might be able to get it. I might be able to go right kind of through there. Let's see. No, I'm not going to leave it. Sugar boost, that's right. It wasn't a big meal, but you know I like my sugar. Oh shit, okay. This wheel has different profiles. Some of them are definitely better for this. This is not a great profile that I'm on. A lot of the profiles will handle uphills a lot better. I think I'm in default just based on what it feels like. All right, now the trail gets nice. It's pretty smooth and even for a while. And I can pick up speed. Somebody put up some barbed wire over there. Uh-oh. Got a stick in there. Hey, whoa. Okay, so if this turns red like it's doing, it means I have low battery, which is not a great thing. We're still yellow for the most part. When it turns solid red, I'm gonna have to turn back. I'm sort of hoping we get to the midpoint on this trail. So I can just keep going forward. But if I have to walk this with this board, that's gonna be really not fun. So anytime I jump over like little sticks and stuff, it takes that extra energy. It's turning red. This is an interesting spot. This is like an old road. Straight and wide right through there. And then here it clearly ends. That's interesting. And it's all cut. Now you can see all these this is all fresh, couple years old growth. Interesting. One day we'll run that. I actually grew up out here, and as a kid, even as a teenager, I never ran these trails. I pretty much stayed at the house. Between the lake and different activities at the house, I didn't really feel a need to run off and explore the woods. Wow. Barbed wire back here. Trails go. I just started exploring these in the last 6 to 8 months. And the only reason I explored them is because there were so many people intruding on my land. I bet you that trail just loops over. Logged it? Yeah, mate. Well, you know what they might have done is like inventoried and made marks. Because this is supposed to be developed land. It belongs to developers. Matter of fact, if you want to look it up a little bit, if you want to, it's Wake County, North Carolina. And this is accessing my memory files. Mitchell Mill Road Investors. Check them out on like Wake County tax maps. They own a lot of stuff. Ooh, woo, a tire. Anybody need a new tire? It's a Goodyear. The hell will that get out here? Literally the middle of nowhere. Like over a mile to get out here, and there's a huge, like 18-wheeler tire. Box truck, maybe. Four-wheeler trap? Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Well, I'm still on yellow battery, and we're well past the halfway mark. I'll show you something I noticed here the other day. That's built up. That wasn't built up. Oh yeah, look at this. There. Oh boy. So I did just hear a bunch of dynamite blasting. Probably ought to be a little careful back here. This is new. I haven't seen any of this construction had started yet. since the last time I was out here. And they have really wrecked this trail. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna get, I guess, into this. Here we go. Here, because gotta get out of here. This is gonna kill my battery. This stuff is not smooth at all. Bill, this is different just from the other day when we were like walking around about that turkey. What was that, like a week ago, man? Okay. My one wheel's hot. The controller up here in the front is warm. Watch, I'm gonna have a flat tire tomorrow. This is much better, nice and smooth. And we're not in red zone on battery. Yeah, so this is the construction site I'm familiar with. Right through those trees, there's a whole neighborhood starting. They've got all of the kind of roads and stuff. I would go over there, but we're gonna run out of battery on the one wheel. And then right in there is the waterfalls and stuff. You know what? It just rained. Let's check this out. It's pretty nice. Yeah, they're developing it all. There's like 500 or 600 homes planned and approved. All this will be like home sites. Look how pretty that is. Man, as I get older, I realize just how special the world that we grew up in is, and how different it's going to be for Claire, and how my dad used to tell me like the golden age is over, and I was having my own golden age as a youngster. But now I feel kind of the same way. It's like a lot of the golden age is over for Claire. I gotta get back up here. And then you watch flips channel and you get all those idiots on there and you're like, oh my god, intelligence has left the building. Bro, you're talking gold deposits? I don't doubt it. Look at that bone. Look at that. Clearly cut. Perfect thickness. Like a T-bone. It really is like somebody brought some T-bone steaks out here and camped by the waterfall and like just left that shit. Or maybe some animal got into the trash and carried it over there. Alright, so there's the trail we went down. Now we're gonna backtrack because I don't want to end up out there with a dead battery. At one point in the trail, kind of where I crushed the can, the drink can, I could have cut over and ended up at the metal building much closer than here. Oh, that's cool. There's a blasting cap. So that's det cord with a blasting cap. And the det cord, this will have a delay on it. Yep, there's the delay tag. That says dual delay. I don't know what that means. Wonder if the det cord and the cap has a delay. But they use all the delays to get everything in time. That's why when you watch videos on explosions, it'll be like this line, then that line, then that line, and everything's all even with one another. So they can create the fissure at the same time. This is a sketch part of the ride right here. Can't see anything because of the tall grass. And there's a bunch of bumps like hidden. There's videos out there of the army using det cord and they like wrap it around the tree 6 or 7 times. Run over to the next tree, wrap it like 6 or 7 times, next tree, and set it off and it just clears the whole forest. Go up the hill. Whoa! Yeah, det cord. I don't know. You know how it is, man. The military pays for a lot of creation of a lot of commercially used products, and the commercially used product is like a dumbed down version of it. Slightly safer for contractors to use and stuff, or whichever, maybe not safer. But I wonder, actually, that's a worthwhile Google search. Who created det cord and what was its initial use? I bet you it was created by the government or the military for military use and then started getting used for dynamite blasting. Because dynamite, they used to time it all with fuses. You'd use different fuse makeup. Bye-bye, det cord. Yeah, I bet. I mean, dude, it's really fast. Like,
Bill Myers said put that
ooh, I get hit. Looks like I might have got hit. All right. We actually have pretty good battery still. Well, that was a fun walk / ride.
Bill Myers said call it a day, injury prone. Low.
Yeah. I could go to Lowe's.
Wing Gun 3 said thanks for the tour.
For sure. Call it a day, huh? I guess I could go get a table saw. You go buy a cheapie. Like the less than $200 Ryobi. Yeah. All right, boys. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. We'll have to try to get Flip to do a split screen maybe tomorrow. But yeah. One more view of the wall. It's pretty. Came out nice. Appreciate you, boys. I'll catch you later.